So day 2 out of a possible at least 35 days of daily uploads, okay? Let me know in the comment section, how far do you actually think I'm going to get? Do you think we'll actually even make it to 35? Do you think we'll go beyond that? Let me know. Who has faith in me? Probably not that many, right? But yes, hello and welcome back to the Marky channel. Today we've got another topics video talking about some things that have happened in the past day or so. We've actually got quite a few topics to talk about today, and we're going to start with the small stuff and work our way to bigger stuff, okay? You get how this works. But also quickly, if you are new here and you want daily uploads and daily updates about things that are happening and that we just kind of take the piss out of, subscribe if you want. It's completely free. It takes 2 seconds and you'll get notified when I upload videos. It's a win-win. I love how I said that as if like it only benefits you, and the fact that you subscribing doesn't benefit me and help the algorithm or anything like that. But yeah, let's just pretend, okay? It's all helpful for you, nothing for me. Right? But yeah, either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the first topic, shall we? With Vinnie Hacker. Now, if you don't know who Vinnie Hacker is, he is like basically just kind of like a TikTok pretty boy, basically. He's just a good-looking bloke, alright, and he does them TikToks you usually do with, like, your top off and, like, bite your lip and shit like that. He's one of them. Or maybe I'm actually being too harsh on him, because in the build-up to his fight, he seemed like a sound bloke, so yeah, maybe I'm being a bit disrespectful for no reason, but either way, in the past couple of days or so, he's been cancelled. And I say cancelled like this because it's not really anything. It's kind of like a nothing story, to be honest with you. Now, basically, on one of his TikToks, people thought he had pictures of Donald Trump on his wall and were very, very angry about it. And then Vinny actually responded to this by showing what the picture actually was in the first place.
See something crazy? You guys want to see something absolutely crazy? So, like, people were, like, canceling me because I had a picture of Trump on my wall. You want to see something crazy? It's Obama! All of them are Obama!
So there you have it. It wasn't even Donald Trump. It was Barack Obama, for God's sake. I think that kind of just proves how the internet works. Like, they just kind of see a picture that kind of represents, like, some red and blue colours, and they're like, oh, is that a president, is it? It must be Trump. Cancelled. Maybe people shouldn't jump to conclusions that quickly, but fucking hell, it's the internet in there. It's definitely going to carry on happening. But one person who does actually have a picture with Donald Trump is actually Jake Paul. I mean, this has nothing to do with the topic, but it's just this picture in general just makes me laugh for some reason. It's just a weird picture. It's Jake Paul holding up his fist like he's gonna fight someone, Donald Trump with a cheesy smile and his thumbs up, and Jake's wearing Conor McGregor around his neck. Such a weird picture. Imagine telling yourself that in 2017 if this was gonna happen. But like I said, this has absolutely nothing to do with any of the topics, but actually what we are gonna be talking about is Jake Paul responding to Dana White yesterday. Now, Dana White, of course, being the president of the UFC, Jake Paul's had a lot to say about Dana White, Dana White's had a lot to say about Jake Paul, and Dana White was actually on the Nelk Boys podcast. I'm pretty sure it was their first podcast, and Dana actually says something along the lines of, the Jake Paul, like, hype train's going to end soon. He's 15 minutes of fame's going to be up very shortly. His shelf life is pretty much over. Something along them lines. He's basically saying he's going to be irrelevant soon and no one's going to care. So this basically resulted in, first of all, Jake Paul making a few jokey little videos in his story, and then getting a little bit more personal.
Jake, do you have clothes on?
My day is not going good.
Why?
Dana White sees Jake Paul's appeal fading soon.
Oh no.
Says shelf life is very fucking short.
Oh no. Oh damn.
What am I gonna do, Logan?
No, bro.
You got a job for me?
Yeah, you're hired, bro. Already.
Thank you, Logan.
So as you can see, he's just joking at first. I mean, the fact that Dana White said that is probably going to be wrong. I mean, Jake Paul is going to probably be here to stay. We were saying in 2017, it's only a matter of time until everyone kind of forgets about Jake Paul, and some would argue he's probably at his peak in terms of being known at this point. So yeah, I don't think it's going to die anytime soon, Dana White, unfortunately, but yeah, as you can see, Jake Paul took it in high spirits at first, and then, like I said, got a bit more personal.
Dana White sees Jake Paul appeal fading soon. Says shelf life is very fucking short. Jake Paul, 187 million results on Google. All right, let's see his big star, Conor McGregor. 62 million.
Yeah, so then he compares himself to Conor McGregor, says he's got more Google searches. I don't really think that has anything to do with anything, really. Conor McGregor's obviously more well-known than Jake, but yeah, he's proven a point. People do care about Jake, and I think Dana White is just a bit pissed about the whole thing, quite clearly. Because obviously Jake Paul has been on this, like, big spree recently, being like, UFC fighters don't get paid enough. Dana White, president of the UFC, is going to take too kindly of that. And to be honest, Jake Paul is kind of right. I think he actually goes on to show some stats after this, but on the top of my head, I'm pretty sure, like, the UFC pay fighters 10% of their profit margin and other organizations pay 50% to their athletes, or something along them lines. Yeah, I mean, here's the start here. MLB pays 54%, NBA is 50%, NHL's 50%, NFL's 48%, and UFC is 16%. And obviously, it's got to be said as well, UFC is obviously a lot more dangerous than all them sports. I mean, the whole purpose of the UFC is to hurt somebody. Jake Paul also weighs it. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that pun wasn't intended. Okay, that was an awful joke. Jake Paul also talked about how weight cuts in the UFC are pretty fucking bad. I mean, fighters end up cutting like 30 pounds in like a couple days or something, and there's been a lot of fighters who have passed out when they're weighing in and whatnot, and quite clearly it's not a healthy way to lose weight. One thing I will say is I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong with this, but I don't think that's the UFC's like fault. I'm pretty sure that's like the athletic commissions in America that come up with that. Like the way how weigh-ins work, how you weigh in a day before and whatnot. Maybe obviously if the weigh-ins were close to the fights, you wouldn't have these weight cuts. I could be wrong with that, but I think it's the athletic commission who make that choice. Maybe I'm wrong. I know one championship in Asia do something a little bit different, but yeah, I don't think that exactly is Dana White's choice. But yeah, that's Jake Paul going to the president of the UFC. Something, yet again, if you told yourself in 2017, it wouldn't make any sense, but for some reason, it's not that surprising anymore. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you agree with? Do you even care? Probably not, right? Now, moving on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to be talking about KSI and Austin McBroom. Now, KSI and Austin McBroom are meant to be fighting God knows whenever they decide to have their fight. I mean, Austin McBroom probably has some bigger things on his mind right now, or at least you'd think, because actually this whole video is Austin McBroom just talking shit, even though he is getting sued for about $150 million at the minute, so maybe he should be caring about that. I also saw that Catherine McBroom made her own channel just a couple of days ago, and obviously a few people are talking about how obviously Austin McBroom and Catherine McBroom have a bit of a fake relationship. That's like kind of public knowledge at this point. Is this a sign that they might be going separate ways and Catherine's getting her own thing? I don't know. Maybe that's overthinking it. That's just some comments I've been saying. But either way, getting back into Austin and KSI. KSI actually reacted to an interview Austin had from the Hollywood Fix, where Austin's talking about fighting KSI.
The fact that you and KSI are boys, I mean, why not do 2-on-2? Me and Bryce versus you two. Let's run it up.
Who do you think will win? What's going on? What is he on about? Austin, shut up. Austin, shut up. When we fight, I will knock you out. No. Now, beforehand, every time I've said I'm going to knock you out, that's just me fighting talk. Blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. But now, when I say I will knock you out, oh, I'm legit serious. Like, I will knock you out. Your boy has been, you know, doing a couple things here and there behind the scenes during the music, you know, just doing a few things here and there, training a little bit.
So there you have it, okay, the standard trash talk going back and forth, KSI versus Austin McBroom. In my opinion, I think KSI would win it pretty comfortably, but who bloody knows, okay? Austin didn't look bad in his last fight and apparently have enough fight. I just hope that it's not with social gloves, okay? And I can't see it ever being with social gloves anymore because they're in a bit of bother, but no one will get paid otherwise. So let's just, fingers crossed, hope that that's not the case. But yeah, either way, if you do care about this YouTube box and stuff, let me know who you think would win in the comments. I'm assuming there's probably quite a few people who would like to see Austin lose and that. I don't think he's exactly the most liked character at the minute. But moving on, again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Trisha Paytas, who just uploaded episode 3 of their new series called Enemies, which is obviously like a spin-off of Frenemies, except it's Trisha by themselves now. Now, why this is interesting is because Trisha, at the beginning of the video, goes on to talk about Keemstar and FaZe Banks, and specifically talks about how Keemstar is in a relationship with a 20-year-old at the minute and gives their thoughts, I guess.
He starts talking about a new girl that he, as FaZe Banks puts it, it was squeezing into nude cheeks, like a 30-year-old man. I have a lot of issues with FaZe Banks, and I held myself back because I really wasn't trying to create drama with like every single person, especially because I didn't know who this person was. But like further looking into him, he has a lot of issues, including Tfue being basically was given alcohol under the age of 21 at the FaZe house. He's saying, I have a company, I have all these things. If you have a company, you don't supply minors with alcohol, point blank, period.
So what Trisha's talking about there is Tfue, who was part of FaZe at one point. Obviously, the whole thing being like, release the contract happened, and FaZe Tfue wanted to just become Tfue, and Banks was obviously very pissed off about it, and then there was other allegations going around that FaZe Banks was giving people, like underage people like Tfue, alcohol and whatnot. Basically, that's what she's referencing, something I think happened in, I want to say like 2019, 2018-ish, I believe.
If you're that concerned about your corporation and who you're feeding and their families you're feeding, as his excuse goes. Keemstar goes on to talk about a 20-year-old that he's currently seeing, and he's seeing a lot, according to his words. He made it clear within the first few minutes that this is not a fan. Because I know a lot of people say the power play, the power position, the power manipulation, which is a huge thing onto its own when you're older, richer, and more successful. It is what it is. You have power control, you have power play, you have this power and you have the ability to control this person based on those three things, and he matches all the criteria. Now, even if you don't match all the criteria.
So as you can see straight away, Trisha's kind of hinted at the fact that they think that this girl potentially might be with Keemstar based on certain things like money, and he's an older guy, he's more successful and all this stuff, and says that Keemstar has a lot of power, I guess. Is that what they're trying to say? Yeah, I guess that's what they're trying to say, right?
Keemstar is 39, he'll be 40 next year, dating a 20-year-old. It has been scientifically proven, I have been told this time and time again, that the female mind, because he's with a female, the female mind, natural born female mind, does not fully develop until the age of 25. With males, sometimes it's up to age 30. So, obviously that's why they say you don't get married in your 20s and like make life decisions in your 20s, because the 20s you change so much mentally. Like you are physically your mind is changing so much. You're figuring out right and wrong, you're figuring out all this stuff. But if you have a much older person who thinks, by the way, Keemstar says he feels 25 for life. That's a big red flag. If someone says, I just feel young, I feel 25 for life. If you say these things, those are red flags.
So I think you can kind of see what Trisha's trying to say. Now, Keemstar actually responded to this on Twitter, basically obviously not exactly happy with what Trisha was trying to say. Now, from what I can tell, I think most people were on Keemstar's side, because the girl isn't underage and people are just saying that Trisha should mind their business and whatnot. I mean, I would love to know your thoughts down below. Do you think Trisha should just mind their own business and it has nothing to do with Trisha, like another relationship, or you think Trisha has a point? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, just to finish this video, ladies and gentlemen, I thought we could do something that we haven't done in quite a while, and that is catch up with Nikocado Avocado, my personal favorite YouTuber. Now, I was just looking at his channel. It does seem to kind of be the exact same stuff that he was doing before, so Touche, Nikocado, we've both been doing the exact same shit for years now. And just in case you forgot how that usually goes on that channel, let me give you a little example.
The worst thing that ever happened to me.
As positive as ever on the Nikocado channel, as you can see.
Nowadays, but not the whole time. Years. It's been years. It's been like 5 years of this. I'm sorry. You're not sorry. I am sorry. No, you're not!
Fucking hell. You didn't tell us there were going to be jump scares, Nikocado. I felt like I was watching like Conjuring or something for a second there. Bloody hell, I'm terrified.
You're not sorry. You're not sorry. You're never sorry. You don't mean what you say. You're a piece of garbage. You're not sorry. You're not. I am. You ruined my life. You ruined my life.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt because it looks like a very emotional point right now, all in. But one thing I always think when I watch a Nikocado video is I would love to see the bill of how much this guy spends on food a month for these videos. He uploads like borderline daily on this channel, and then he has other channels as well, and there's always about this much food. He must spend thousands on food each month. In fact, I would just go far to say that he probably spends more on food each month than I actually earn a month. I think that'd actually be a logical fact. But yeah, sorry, yeah, Owen, you were saying something. What were you saying again? Something emotional, right?
You're not sorry. You're never sorry. You never change. You ruined my life.
I mean, if you look at the bright side, Olin, you've got some cracking teeth on you, mate. Very straight, very white. Fair enough. Good stuff, Olin. Right, now we are just actually kind of watching a guy just sob right now. So, yeah, let's have a look at the comments, because they're always great on the Nikocado channel. Now, by the way, if you are new here, and you're wondering why I'm just not being sympathetic with someone crying, this is all fake. I mean, you can probably already tell, right? I'm guessing if it's the first time you ever seen it, you might be wondering. But yeah, this is all fake. This is all acting. This is also like the 38th time that this exact same scene has happened. But yeah, it's all fake. I'm not a heartless bitch. I mean, the top comment in this video is, they seriously need an Oscar. Nick cries on command and it's incredible. That's what I'm saying, right? I've always said, we shouldn't hit on Nikocado. I actually think we should applaud him, because what he's doing is genius. But yeah, as you can see, Nikocado is just doing the same old stuff, and fair enough. He has multiple channels that bang views, and he earns a fucking cracking amount of money, okay? He has Patreon as well, and Cameo and whatnot. He's earning bank, okay? He's earning bank. He's doing just fine, and yeah, fair play, Nikocado. It's good to catch up again. But yeah, either way, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoy. If you did, please do leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new. And also check out my second channel as well. We're going to actually be uploading pretty much daily on there, starting in either a couple of days or maybe today, depending on when this video comes out. Okay, so second channel's link in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Goodbye.